Alright, we are probably do a proper intro. So I'm with a new guy today. We talked to an adventure writer about a year ago about meeting up, and the roads are going to be questionable. This isn't going to be a very exciting video because we'll have all kinds of different grades of roads. But anyway, he and I talked about a year ago about doing a ride together. He only lives about 5 miles from my house. And don't know if he's a private guy or not, so I probably should not do names or anything. But either way, we talked about a year ago, and he's got knobbies, and I don't. So my version of fun is slightly different than his, obviously. And so I told him, let's do some roads that you want to do, and if it gets too bad for me, we'll turn around. He looks to be handling his own pretty well. He's on like, oh yeah, we're having some problems there. He's on, I don't know, 50/50s. It's hard to really tell what brand they were, but nothing worse than me dumping it right as soon as we leave the general store. Anyway, we're in Etna, New Hampshire today, and we're just hanging out. Gonna go for a little ride. He has something going on at like 5 or 6 p.m., so we're just gonna get out on the bikes. It's weird meeting up with the guys for rides and not being able to shake hands or anything, but that's just kind of the nature of life these days. So yeah, no idea his level of skill. He has no idea my level of skill. And I have Michelin and a Key Adventures, and he has some kind of a 50/50, 60/40 sort of tire going on. And we're on a recently graded road, as you can tell. And you guys know me, I love graded roads. They're my my kryptonite. But hey, at least it's not mud, which, don't worry, it will be really soon. This is not the this is the best it's going to be, I think, today. They just recently graded them. Because the Beta has another problem. Freaking enduro bikes, man. I didn't believe you guys that European enduro bikes are amazing when they work and awful when they don't. But I am on a having more problems here with the Beta. With a leaking transmission fluid bolt. So it's going off again to get helicoiled or upgraded. And the K75 is great, but it's not for these kind of roads. So we're on the GS. I wish I had put my Battle Axe and AX41s on, but those are being saved for the BDR. He's a little faster than me, but his back end is not getting squirrely like mine is. Beautiful 54 degrees today. This is the warmest day we've had in a week. It's going to be this warm pretty much all week as far as the highs go. So I think I'll be doing nearly daily motorcycle rides except for Thursday when we get a rain all day. And Friday I'm off to Whitehall, New York to Barnstormers to drop my Beta off for the transmission fluid drain plug work. And we got some soft portions here. Some slick. It's not quite clay, but it's definitely a slick, thin material when it's wet, like silt. But not quite sand. It's hard to explain. These are roads that used to be major thoroughfares. For some of the towns, you wouldn't really go into Lebanon, New Hampshire, unless you were going there for supplies. You would connect from, Enfield, Etna, Dorchester, Canaan to Lyme or Thetford, without going through Lead, because that adds unnecessary miles. So these were, major travel paths, and the roads continue to be well maintained. Is he gonna go right or straight? I would go straight, but he's probably gonna go right. Yeah, you want to do Baker Hill over to the skiway?
Yeah, you want to leave?
Sure. I used to live on this road, by the way, for 2 or 3 years. But I did only have my one car back then, which was my 2013 Mark 6 Golf R, And man, living on a dirt road in a hot hatch with lower suspension than a GTI really sucked. There we go, now I can see them. That's what about those double take mirrors, is being able to see your buddy behind you without having to crouch. Now we're picking a road here that's actually pretty, can be pretty gnarly in the spring. Not this road, but Grafton Turnpike by the Dartmouth Skiway. And there could be some real deep ruts. It does get maintained by the state. It does get graded, but there's so much tree cover. Which, any of these signs, any of these roads, this is Dartmouth Skiway, any of these roads that have a tonnage limit for trucks could be questionable. Grafton Turnpike was actually part of the route, it's part of the Hamster, but it also was a part of my route for dirt days, my New Hampshire route. And so I know the road really well. In July and August, you can haul ass down here, well, within reason, but you can go pretty much as fast as you want to, so long as you know what curve is next. Any other month, you really should be going the speed limit or less. So we'll just see how it goes. It's already a little bit wet. I can go Grafton Turnpike end to end in about 13 minutes. In the summertime. This time of year, probably 45 minutes, because this is the best of it right here. It's gonna get worse. Heavily tree covered, which means that the water takes a long time to get absorbed, and this time of year there's a lot of water. Oh yeah, it's actually kind of nice to have ruts, because that means it hasn't been graded yet this year. Once the grading happens, this thing is really hard to ride on in a straight line for the whole entire length. This is pretty bad right here. Alright, so now we're going to Goose Pond. So there's really a lot. It's paved, but it's barely paved. And nice view of the lake. Then we'll actually be on a road that I went on 2 weeks ago for my last video that was really bad. Super rutted. Probably shouldn't go on that road again, but I need to practice. I need to get the muscles loosened up and get back in the flow of things. So this is Goose Pond on my left. I think it's bigger than a pond. It's definitely a lake, but that's what they call it, Goose Pond. I've been out here for ice fishing, and I've been out here for water skiing. It's the beauty of living up here. Probably one of my new favorite roads, locally at least, to go up and down. There's a lot of Class 6 roads off of this road that are unmarked, but they're back there, and they, year-round, they are beta only. They are not GS roads in their current states. They're not even marked. It's all grown in, but fun for an enduro bike. But sometimes you need to bring a chainsaw with you. There we go, we're good. That's what I'm talking about right there. I have not dropped the bike. I think I dropped the bike once last year, maybe once, and it was like we were already like that speed, leaned it over in a rut. And so far I haven't dropped the bike this year, but we've only been running for a few weeks. So I remember this section being pretty rough as we get down the hill. I don't know, I keep talking about what's going to happen, but it's just a little bit, I used to actually expect to drop the bike. I used to like anticipate, hey, I'm going to drop the bike today. Pretty much every time I went out in the woods. I mean, you guys that haven't been here the whole time, but the original guys remember when I first got my GSA, that was my first motorcycle, my 2009, I didn't really go on tarmac except for to go to the trails. I rode this kind of stuff for the first 2 months of ownership. I rode these kind of roads, and then finally graduated to riding street. And I was running the Conti Trail Attack 2s, which were 80/20s, which taught me insane balance. I mean, just wicked, crazy balance. And throttle control with that big bike. Because with those tires, they had no tolerances for allowing any mud or caking. So, to go from to start my career basically on street tires on a GSA, I probably learned a lot of bad habits, but I did learn a lot of control. And so this is the roads that I learned how to ride on. And so nowadays, I kind of expect to drop my bike still, even though I shouldn't think that way. It's a negative way of looking at it. I feel the front end like curling under me. I have to give it throttle because the front end really starts to dig underneath me and start to move out to the right or the left. And I have to give it a little bit of throttle to keep it out back, get it out of the rut again, out of the snake. It's like, dude. And I'm not shitting these tires. They're considering the kind of riding I do, they're almost perfect. Because they get insanely long mileage, they don't have any highway noise, good fuel economy, and they're able to, they don't kill me on this kind of stuff. So, getting the old muscles loosened up. Hopefully this COVID-19 business gets past us soon and very few people die and we're able to get back to a little bit of normalcy. I'm sure everyone's hoping for that just like I am. Except for the drug companies, they're probably thrilled. I shouldn't have said that, but there's probably people that work in the pharmaceutical industry that watch my videos. But, in all honesty, I think we're all, I moved a lot of my assets over to, a lot of my holdings over to pharmaceutical companies when this all happened, just like many of you probably did. It's not a lot of money, but something. But this is the area where I slid out the other day, lost traction, stalled it. It's much drier now. That was rough. Getting a nice solid workout today though, guys. Well, I should probably end the video here. We're right at tarmac now. That was fun, huh? Good, what a great way to spend a Monday after work. Go for an hour ride on the motorcycle. Woo!